We're dealing with the lost years of William Shakespeare, and they're called the lost years because historians don't really know very much about what Shakespeare might have been doing. There's a lot of speculation, and some historians believe he might have been related to the most wanted man in England, Robert Savile, who was an underground Catholic priest and writer and head of the underground Catholic movement. So just take those facts or hypotheses, and I've woven them together in a way that I think both speaks to today and speaks to elemental truths about who people are and who characters are, because Shakespeare wrote characters that are as alive and relevant today as they were 400 years ago. Shakespeare is relevant today, not because he had a crystal ball, but just because he saw the truth of human beings and was writing about that truth. And so he becomes endlessly relevant because endlessly we deal with those people, those personalities and these big geopolitical movements throughout history. I think there's really no point writing about history unless you're also writing about today, because often through writing about history we can learn about today, because it cuts away the noise and you just deal with the elemental things. The Elizabethan time, there were so many parallels between then and now. It was a world divided by religion. The Protestants were in power, Catholics were outlawed. It was a very dangerous world, and people were willing to fight and die for what brand of God they believed in. Like today, popular culture suddenly became this massive thing, and people could rise from being the son of a shoemaker, like as Christopher Marlowe was, to this kind of rock star. Christopher Marlowe was so famous that when he walked down the street, people would yell out lines of his plays to him. Theatre then was like rock and roll. It was like 3,000 people crammed in these wooden open-air theatres, and they were fighting, they were fornicating, they were drinking, they were eating, and they were really passionate about it, like rock and roll. If they loved it, they'd scream the heavens down. If they hated it, they'd riot and burn the theatre down. And it's very hard for people to grasp today that theatre wasn't this polite thing where you sat back on your hands and clapped politely. It really was for the people, and it was brand new. Theatre had not been in the Western world since Roman times, until this guy called James Burbage went, oh, I'm going to build this 3,000 seat thing and charge people money to come and see plays. And everyone was like, you're crazy, that's never going to work. But he did it, and it worked, and competition sprang up. So it was this completely new thing. One of the reasons we use the modern music is to evoke that punk energy and to help our audience understand what it must have felt like to experience that theatrical setting back then, which was so different to what it is today.